What happens when you join these groups is they'll allow you to come give the elevator pitch, but then they're going to want you to join. And I encourage you to join some groups. You can join more than one group, okay? Because these groups are having people come in and come out. I mean, there are members that are coming in all the time. So, you know, you have to look at the investment of what the dues are and so on and so forth. The other thing that happens when you join one of these groups, whether they have weekly lunches or they have mixers, is you got to participate. But you can go to Google, you can search on Google, and you can go to the Chamber of Commerce, and a lot of these groups will post their roster of people on the website. So what happens is when they post that roster of people on the website, then you can actually not join the group if you choose to, but you can use that as an introduction. Say, hey John, this is Brian McClure. I noticed that you're a member of the North Dallas Networking Group, and I saw it on the website. And I just want to get a little bit more information about the group and what your experience was. I'm in the deregulation of electricity. We save money on people's money on their electric bills, and we have an income opportunity where you can sign up other people and get an override residually on their people's electric bills. And we actually have a program that gives away free electricity, and I'm looking to meet some new people and network with it. Probably not something you'd be interested in, so I always throw it past them. You know, I'm not trying to solicit them. It's probably something you might not be interested in. I'm sure you're a successful mortgage broker, but I'm looking to join some networking groups that might know some people, where I can find some people that maybe their business just isn't going quite as well as they thought it might be, you know, not going as well currently at this moment in time. And so what'll happen is that a lot of times you'll get a bite. So I'd be more interested in it. Well, let me ask you a couple of questions. You know, what do you know about energy deregulation here in Texas? Well, not much. Well, how many people do you know use electricity? Everybody. Would they rather pay less or more if nothing changed? Less. Well, like I said, we can make an awful lot of money residually every single time somebody turned on a light switch or used the air conditioner. Would it at least warrant at this point, because I'm a busy person too, 20, 25 minutes of your time to look at a couple of videos on the internet? When the answer to that question is yes, you're giving them a website, setting an appointment, calling them back. You're not going to their office. You're not meeting them for breakfast. You're not doing anything until they watch those videos. Why? Because you're sorting people. If they watch those videos, they're excited, and they want you to come by the office, by all means, you want to go by the office. You know, you want to get engaged with the person and get them involved in your business. When you get them involved, did that make sense to you? Or do you have a few more, you know, are you ready to get started? Do you have a few more questions? And then get their questions answered, and then what? Get the written list. So it's, no matter how you approach these people in the cold market, you always want to get the written list, okay? Because they're going to know a whole bunch of people. They might say, well, hey, would you come as my guest to the networking lunch of the group, North Dallas Business Group, next Monday? So you go to google.com, put in networking business groups, you can put in the city, you can put in Chamber of Commerce, you can put in all those sorts of things. In major cities, you'll find an inordinate number of networking groups that'll give you a huge written list to then go and do some phone prospecting and or show up at the meetings. So another great way to cold prospect is power cards. And power cards are available in your power zone. So you log into your power zone, click up on power cards. There's a lot to choose from, but the purpose of the power cards is to pass them out as you're going out. I tell people all the time, don't go out to work Ambit. Just work Ambit when you go out. You're running into waiters, you're running into waitresses, you're picking up your dry cleaning from somebody, you're meeting somebody that you're pumping gas to at the next pump. You know, you're always running into people. And the way I would distribute the power card, and there's several different successful ways, so use the way that you're most comfortable with, because the object here is just to get the power cards in people's hands. Is you can ask them the question, hey, just, you know, I know you don't know me, but just incidentally, do you know anything about energy deregulation here in Texas? You know, this is the person at the gas pump next to you. No, I really don't. Say, I don't know if you'd be interested, but if you know somebody that's interested in earning money every time somebody turns on a light switch or turns on an air conditioner or uses electricity in their home, would you hand them this card, and there's a toll-free number that they can call and listen to a recorded message, and if they have any interest at all, just have them leave their name and telephone number, and it'll notify me and I'll call them right back. So it's just a matter of getting out hundreds of these cards as you go out. It should be just something you do. Every single time you're running into somebody, you're parking your car at the garage, you're doing just anything at all that puts you in contact with a human being, or any way you can figure out how to distribute the cards. You know, maybe somebody at a restaurant might allow you to put a little stack of cards up in a business card holder up on their counter. You know, maybe somebody that owns a retail store might put a power card into their bags as people check out. So it doesn't matter how you distribute the card. The object is to get as many cards out there as possible. And what I can tell you is the recorded messages are a function of the number of cards that you have out in the marketplace. And so what's going to happen is they're going to leave their name and number, and you're going to call them back, and you're going to say, John, this is Brian McClure. You just left me a message, listen to the recorded message about Ambit and Ambit Energy, and I was calling you back. Oh, yeah, I had a couple of questions. Well, before you get into questions, John, let me ask you a few questions. What do you know about energy deregulation? And, you know, it's the same old thing. So you're taking that front end funnel, if you will, of those power cards and just putting more people on the written list. And that's why the written list is so dynamic, is you're always taking names off and taking names on. Maybe John won't call you back. I'd call him 3 times, leave a message, say, John, look, I'm really, really busy in my business. I don't have time to chase you. You left a message for me. And you might even do this on your first try. Say, John, just give me a call. You know, so they call and say, hey, it's John Jones and my phone number is such and such. I'd like to talk to somebody, or whatever they do. You know, you call them a second time, call them a third time. I wouldn't ever call anybody more than 3 times. And what I would say to John is, on the third message, say, look, John, I've left you a couple of messages. This business is huge. There are people in this business making 6 figures per month, because every time somebody turns on a light switch, or if you're in a gas market, every time somebody does a cooktop or the pilot light on their gas hot water heater is burning 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or if it's in the wintertime, you're talking about how the furnaces are going ballistic. Every single time somebody is using gas, John, we're making money. And I've got so many people clawing to get into my business. I can only work with so many people, so I'm not going to call you back again. If you're interested, you're going to need to call me back. Here's my cell phone. So don't give them the toll-free number anymore. Give them your cell phone. If you're going someplace and you're going to any place, you're traveling anywhere, you know, you can use the power cards and say, listen to this. So let's say you're in California on business. So what do you know about energy deregulation in the United States? Not much. So look, I don't know if you'd be interested, but I'm with a company. Right now we're just in Texas, New York, and Illinois, but we're expanding across the country. I don't know if you know anybody in those 3 markets, or if you know people that may know somebody in those 3 markets. But the way this thing works is every time somebody turns on the light switch, or runs their air conditioner, or uses electricity, you know, by keeping their refrigerator plugged in, next month, next year, 5 years from now, we get paid a residual income off of that electric bill being paid. And so if you know of anybody, just hand them this card and ask them to listen to that toll-free number and leave me a message. Don't give the person your cell phone number, okay, unless they commit to you're able to actually not give them the card and take them through the 4 questions, and they commit to actually watching the videos. Just give them the cards and distribute literally. And the average person that's out and about, that's not going in an office and you know, for 8 hours a day, but the average person that's out and about, even if they do go in the office, you can distribute 100 or 200 cards a week. Every single person you run into, you're handing them a card and you're saying, you might not be interested, but you might know somebody who is interested. Would you mind handing them this card? After you've spun them up a little bit about it, get them excited about earning a residual income month after month on a public utility unconsciously purchased and habitually used.